Hope you're enjoying it so far. It's a joy to have your company. I'm Ollie Hogben, and wherever in the world you're watching from, it's a real privilege to be talking to you.
First athletes in this second
lovely city on the shores of the Mediterranean. As the old song goes, let's go round again. Back we go to the top of Group C. This is the third of four groups. Tina Hajdinjak of Slovenia started with 21.45 with the hoop. Positive beginning to her Senior European Championship debut.
Thank you, Tina.
Tina Hajdinjak of Slovenia, the 19-year-old, competed at the Portimao World Cup earlier this year. Just had a complex regrasp of the apparatus, agonisingly just slipped through her fingers. Then was just a fraction of half a foot or so away from controlling that catch. All just one of those days, unfortunately for her. So easily happen, especially when you're under the pressure of such a big occasion. Adriana Dimková of Slovakia started positively with a 25.6 with the ball. She actually won a couple of medals at the Czech National Championships in 2020, including a silver with the hoop.
Thank you, Adriana.
Second performance from Adriana Dimková of Slovakia.
And the score for Tina from Slovenia is 22.70. A Slavish time, נקודה 7 למתעמלת הסלובנית. And the next gymnast is also coming from Slovenia. Let's welcome Ekaterina Vedeneva.
22.7 for Tina Hajdinjak. with the ball. Now to an athlete who started strongly. Representing Slovenia, Katarina Vedenieva, 32.75 with the hoop. She's looking good. She's won bronze medals in World Cup competition this season.
About the things we've come through, though it's hurting me, now it's history. I've played all my cards, and that's what you've done too. Nothing more to say, no more race to play. The judges will decide, the lights of me abide, spectators of the show, always staying low. The game is on again, a lover or a friend, a big thing or a small. Takes it all, yeah. The winner takes it all. The winner takes it all. The winner takes it all.
Thank you, Katarina.
Katarina Vedenieva of Slovenia. She has some of the most magical attitude pirouettes in gymnastics. A little hop of adjustment.
And in the all-around 51.1.
Poise, her posture is so strong.
The next gymnast from Slovakia is Michaela Zatkova.
25.55 for Adriana Timková of Slovakia. From Slovakia, Michaela Žatková started with 26.45 with the ball, the reigning national all-around champion.
Thank you, Michaela.
From Slovakia, Michaela Žatková.
And look at
second
that
performance
score,
for her.
32.250.
Slightly controlled walkover. Technique has been steadily developing over the last couple of years. Just some form deductions in her illusion turns evident, leading to the loss of control of the apparatus. 32.25 for Ekaterina Vedenieva with the ball, a very significant number. It is the best we've seen so far. Antonina Sargu of Moldova, 24.6 with the hoop, now competing with the ball.
Antonina
Sargu from Moldova, very hard-working, studious young athlete. She'll be frustrated with herself for the small moments in this routine that didn't go according to plan, because she's so focused on this sport technically. She is fascinated by the code of points and how it works. Mihaela Zhadkova scores 25.75 with the hoop. So that means that she is 19th in the all-around standings at the moment. Now to Teresa Stankova of Czech Republic, 16-year-old, is the reigning national champion with the hoop, hence why she's been entered by her national team for this particular piece. She's a very interesting young athlete, Teresa Stankova of Czech Republic. She's actually trained in kickboxing as part of a bid to improve her strength and her balance.
18 years old. She was born in a town called...
Certainly, it is getting better. There's no doubt about that.
By the way, it's the first major senior event of
Antonina Sargu, 23.6.
Sargu, 23.6 for her ball routine.
We do have a new leader in the all-around competition. I must point that out. Ekaterina Vedenieva. So busy were we focusing on her excellent individual scores. Well, they have combined to take her into first place ahead of Daria Atamanov and Adi Katz.
wait for the score of Czechia's Teresa Stakova.
We are making our way quite purposefully through the third group of gymnasts. Just one more group to come after this. And again, some real contenders, some big contenders in that final group. More on them in a short while. But the standard that has been thrown at that final group is a compelling one. There have been some surprises, there have been some very good displays.
There comes the score of Teresa, 26.65.
For Teresa Stankova, 26.65 with a hoop. Just outside of the top 20 performances with that apparatus that we've seen. But a good display by the national champion. From Czech Republic, Gaja Garofalo, 26.5 with the ball in her first piece. Gymnast who made her European Championship debut in Varna last year, 34 years on from when her mother competed there for the World Championships for Czechoslovakia. Following in the family footsteps, Gaja Garofalo of Czech Republic. I should also point out that despite her mother competing 34 years ago at the World Championships, they do share the same coach, would you believe?
Using ABBA in a routine, I think she deserves half a point extra artistry. Let's go to Azerbaijan. Here is the ball routine of Zora Agamirova.
Strong beginning for her. From Azerbaijan, Zora Agamirova, she started with a 31.15 with the hoop, good number. She's the reigning national champion with the ball.
I see a lecture and I want it into I could not foresee this thing happening to you. If I was hard enough into the setting sun, my love will last with me before the morning comes.
Zora Agaminova from Azerbaijan. Well, she certainly has made a decent case for herself in terms of the leaderboard, catching in a very controlled way, going into the backwards walkover.
Now we are with Armenia.
Garoffolo scores 27.65. That has her in 14th place in the all-around standing so far. Very positive. Silva Sargsyan from Armenia started with 25.7 with the ball. That was a very determined performance from Silva Sargsyan of Armenia, wasn't it? Gymnast who has had her best results internationally with the hoop and with the ball.
32.050, great score.
Saw her at the Tashkent World Cup.
And another gymnast from Azerbaijan is coming to the floor. Let's welcome again Arzu Jalilova.
Well, this is very impressive from Zora Agamirova, 32.05. And she is second in the all-around standings so far. That's a very good day at work for the 20-year-old from Baku. A return to form, really. Arzu Jalilova, the next to compete. Started with 26.9 with the hoop, a little ground to make up now, perhaps.
Pourquoi je vis? Pourquoi je meurs? Pourquoi je ris? Pourquoi je pleure? Voici le SOS d'un terrien en détresse. On crawl autour de l'univers. J'ai pas tiré mon numéro. Je suis même dans ma peau. Et j'ai pas envie d'être trop beau, mais trop roulant dans le dos.
Arzu Jalilova from Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan's Arzu Jalilova with her second performance, the final one of today.
And the score for Silva Sargsyan from Armenia is 25.70.
25.7 for Silva Sargsyan, exactly the same as she scored with the ball.
Mary Pogosyan.
Mary Pogosyan of Armenia, 22.3 with the ball to begin her competition. The gymnast who's been in great domestic form. Have to take your hat off, don't you, to any gymnast who's able to compete as an elite level junior in group competition and then make the change to being an elite level senior individual gymnast. It's very difficult, and rhythmic gymnasts will tell you that it's two different sports, and they are right to issue that cautionary word about switching between the disciplines. She's done so well, Mary Pogosyan, to do that. Arzu Jalilova, 30.85. That's a much improved performance from her. Takes her into 8th position in the all-around standings to Lily Ramonaccio of France. She started with a 28.65 with the hoop. She was 6th with the ball in the Athens World Cup final.
S'éveille, Paris, s'éveille. Les banlieusards sont dans les gares, la Villette qu'on tranche le lard. Paris by night regagne les cars, les boulangers font des bâtards. Il est 5 heures, Paris s'éveille.
Is very memorable, very enjoyable, very successful gymnastics from Lily Ramonaccio. She smiles at the end of it. We smiled throughout it. Big attack on those leaps. purposeful back bend whilst rolling the apparatus. Yeah, strong gymnast, but a characterful performance as well from the young athlete from Montpellier. 24.05 for Mary Pogosyan. That's a much better score than with the ball. She's jumped up by almost 2 marks. Diana Artyomova of Lithuania scored 22.75 with the ball. We have to remind ourselves, we're watching a 15-year-old gymnast at work here. There is a great deal to be very encouraged by in her development.
Let's wait for the previous score.
Powerful forward rolls. Cleanliness as she throws the apparatus. It keeps a sense of shape in the air. Yes, some readjustments as she gains control. That's a good number from Lily Ramanaccio. 30.5 with the ball. That puts her into 8th position in all-around qualification, 7th in the ball standings. So, some changes to the leaderboard now. Hélène Carbonov of France, who scored 29.75 with the hoop. It was a very good start. Now what can she do with the ball? She's the national champion.
Combien de temps encore? Des années, des jours, des heures? Combien? Quand j'y pense, mon cœur bat si fort. Mon pays, c'est la vie. Combien de temps encore? Combien? Je l'aime tant le temps qui reste. Je veux rire, courir, pleurer, parler, et voir, et croire, et boire, danser, crier, manger, nager, bondir, désobéir. Je n'ai pas fini, voler, chanter, partir, embarquer, souffrir, aimer. Je l'aime tant, le temps qui reste. Combien de temps encore? Des années, des jours, des heures, combien? Je m'en fous, mon amour. Quand l'orchestre s'arrêtera, je danserai encore. Quand les avions ne voleront plus, je volerai tout seul. Quand le temps s'arrêtera, je t'aimerai encore. Je ne sais pas où, je ne sais pas comment, mais je t'aimerai encore. D'accord?
In case you hadn't worked it out, they're quite excited about her in France. With absolute justification. This is very good gymnastics from Hélène Carbonov. Her mother, Svetlana, competed at international level for Kazakhstan. Still involved in the sport at a regional level in France. Hélène Carbonov is a massive admirer of Delphine Ledoux. gymnast I'm sure many of you will remember from the Olympic Games in London in 2012. 23.9
inquiries for the same routine.
For
Two
Artyomova.
inquiries for the ball routine of Zhaliova from Azerbaijan.
Now,
23.9.
we have, I'm hearing, via our Master of Ceremonies, Niels Daniel, some inquiries in progress at the moment. Artur Jalilova, here we go, of Azerbaijan, submitting an inquiry for her ball routine. And I believe that's the first of the day, which is quite extraordinary. Don't quote me on that, I may have missed one. Fausta Shostakoite of Lithuania. 28 with the ball. She looked happy with it.
Sweet silver bird, all seem to say throw cast away. Christmas is here, bringing the ship to the coming one seems to hear words of the cheer from everywhere, feeling the end. Oh, they are praising the sun, Lord in the depths, turning the sun.
This is a very interesting day. It's going to take a lot of unpicking, isn't it? There'll be a lot of people out there on social media analysing what we've seen so far today and what we are likely to see tomorrow, what it means for the overall standings, who's in the mix.
Karbanov, 28.85 for the French athletes.
Good strength in the penché position.
And now Hungary on the floor.
Hélène Karbanov, 28.85. So that puts her in 9th place in all-around qualification. Very positive from Karbanov. To Hanna Panavisner of Hungary. She started with a very good 30.9 with the hoop. She's made plenty of ball finals at World Cup level. This is why. It's a good routine if she gets it right. A lovely routine, just delightful. Anna Pana-Wisner of Hungary. Oh, there's something about this young gymnast. There's quality in her work. Technically very precise, but there's an artistry too.
There's a score for
She's got some amplitude as well.
9.3. Great exercise of the Lithuanian athlete.
Fausta Šostakaitė, 29.3. She's up by almost a mark and a half from her first routine. Quietly having a very effective day, 14th in the all-around standings so far. Three to go in this set. Andreea Verdej of Romania set a very good mark of 30.1 with the ball. What can she now do?
After all you put me through, you think I despise you. But in the end, I want to thank you, because you made me that much stronger. Well, I thought I knew then that you were true. And yes, I couldn't trust, cause your blood taught me so, cause I had enough. You were there by my side, always down for the ride. But your I just hate on your things, cause your dreams on me out of shame.
It's a well-controlled finish from Andreea Verdej of Romania. Can she build upon that 30.1 with the ball?
Romania, and look at the score for Anna Pana-Wisner's ball routine, 30.2. 8th best ball routine so far. Well, at the moment, she will be qualified for the finals, but we'll see what
how good is the number going to be for Anna Pana-Wisner? 30.2. 8th best with the ball and the 6th best in the all-around qualification process so far. She should sleep well tonight. That's very, very good work. Penultimate gymnast in this group, Fanny Pignitsky of Hungary. She started with 27.95 with the hoop, a slightly tricky beginning to her campaign, but she's made of strong stuff. You know that friend we all have who's brilliant at stuff? Fanny Pignitsky is definitely one of those people. Very accomplished tennis player, chess player, ballet dancer, was a handball player when she was younger. She's an undergraduate in physical education, a highly skilled mathematician, and a proven pressure performer in this sport. Somebody who can handle a big situation. 30.45 from Andrea Verde. She's going to have to handle a big score because she's in 9th place in all-around qualification, 7th best with the hoop. Job very well done for her. And this now is the final performance of Set C. It's Annalisa Dragan of Romania. She started with a very good 30.75 with the ball. It was the 3rd strongest at the time. What a thoroughly enjoyable day of rhythmic gymnastics it has been in Tel Aviv. How exciting this qualification campaign has been. Young gymnast who was born in Aliso Viejo in California.
1.45. Wow.
Went for some big amplitude on some of her releases of the apparatus. Had to really travel it, didn't she? And my word, that's an athletic retrieval from Dragan. Good work.
Wonderful job.
Hello. Back in the game. 31.45 for Fanny Pignitsky with the ball. That's the 4th best we've seen with the ball. She's now in 10th place in all-around qualification.
Ekaterina still in 1st position in the ball ranking. Big hug by the coach of Annalisa Dragan.
We are still awaiting confirmation of the inquiry for the ball routine of Arzu Jalilova.
Yes, indeed, Irina.
And we have one more score to come in this set. It is the hoop routine of Annalisa Dragan. Then we take a short break before resuming the competition in around about 25 minutes' time. So you will have time to pop the kettle on.
Let's wait for Annalisa.
And after this, we'll give you an update on how it's all looking. 30.1,
30.1,
the score for Dragan.
9th place for her.
9th both in the hoop and the all-around standings.
For a bit of a break, ladies and gentlemen. We start again at 4:50.
So all of that brings us to the three-quarter mark today, and this is what we know. With hoop qualification, the big performer from this group, Ekaterina Vedenyeva of Slovenia, 32.75. Brilliant performance from her. Notable mention to Zora Agamirova as well, who's in that top 5 group of gymnasts. A look right down the order to gymnasts that we will see again tomorrow in the second half of all-around qualification. Things can and they will change. And we still, of course, have the final group of athletes to come with some very big names in there. Let's have a look back at what we've seen so far. Lovely to have a look back at what we've seen so far. We've brought you the best of the standings in the hoop competition, or indeed the full standings in the hoop competition. We are waiting for one inquiry in the ball competition as well, and that is the score of Arzu Jalilova of Azerbaijan. Quite an ongoing inquiry there. Her difficulty originally was 13.8, so we'll see if there's any jiffling around of the numbers once the jury has scrutinised everything, and they must have the requisite time to do just that. But certainly from an all-around perspective, the big performer at the moment, Ekaterina Vedenjeva of Slovenia, 65 her score. And then we drop by 1.8 marks to Zora Agamirova of Azerbaijan. Well done to her, brilliant step up. That's just telling us what we already know, that there is an inquiry in progress for Arzu Jalilova. Daria Atamanov and Adi Katz are 3 and 4 in the all-around standings. There's a little daylight between Atamanov and Katz, 63.15 to 61.9. We've then got a whole host of gymnasts in the 61s. Polstyanaya, Wiesner and Keller. We drop down by a fraction to Panayota Litra in 8th place, 60.95. And then we've got a few gymnasts who are quite close together. Annalisa Dragan and Andrea Verdej joining Litra on 60.55 up to 60.95. We then drop down by a full mark. So the real gap at the moment, where we have, if you like, a dashed line between the competitors, is after number 10, Andrea Verdej, 60.55. We then have 59.4, so a gap of over a mark to Fanny Pignitsky of Hungary. Perhaps, therefore, a mental note to be made that Andrea Verdej in 10th place is quite a significant marker at the moment of how things are going in all-around qualification. When one considers the competitors that we have to come in the final group, it is a considerable set of contenders. Let's run through those names now. We're going to see Milena Baldassari, we're going to see Sofia Raffaelli, we're going to see a couple of gymnasts from Ukraine in Melania Ter and Victoria Onoprienko, who's had a very good season, Margarita Kolosov of Germany, who's been a World Cup champion, Daria Vafolomeev, another World Cup champion. We've got Polina Berezina, a well-known face on the World Cup circuit. And we have the likes of Stiliana Nikolova and Boriana Kalin, the latter the silver medalist from the last competition. So, yeah, some big contenders still to come. And there's always the possibility of some surprises coming out of Group D as well in other contenders that we perhaps don't know quite as well. So still we await clarification on that inquiry for Arzu Jalilova's ball routine. As soon as we've got that, then we'll be taking a pause. But you're not allowed to go anywhere, dear viewer watching at home, until we've got that score come in. So get somebody else to make the tea for you on this occasion. Someone else can walk the dog, because we've got about 15 minutes or so until the start of the final group of gymnasts. Who needs lunch when there's an inquiry to be had in the sport of rhythmic gymnastics? Hope you're enjoying all of the action from the lovely city of Tel Aviv. Very pleasant conditions. The weather is hot and humid, but not unpleasantly so. It's not too muggy in the air. The mornings have a gentle, cool breeze. The evenings most pleasant to take a stroll around the bay, around the marina. They call this the non-stop city. It's a vibrant place for nightlife. It was called the non-stop city until this inquiry came in anyway. Now they've changed the nickname of Tel Aviv. Nearly there, I promise. I don't promise, actually. We have no idea how long it's going to take. It's the first inquiry of the entire day of competition, so we're really giving you value for money on this one in how long it's taking for the score to come in. The slogan for these championships is "Imagine the impossible," which might be an end to this inquiry. But it's absolutely, in all seriousness, vital that this number is scrutinised properly. It's the right of the coach and the gymnast to place the inquiry, as long as they get their paperwork filled out correctly. And it's often a situation where you see coaches scuffling around. The more savvy ones have got their inquiry forms partially filled out before the start of competition with all the basic details. Got them ready in their bag, got a pen to hand. Well, we are awaiting the formal clarification on the results of those inquiries, and we're going to bring you